O sage, thus neither in childhood, nor in youth, nor in old age does one enjoy any happiness. None of the objects in this world is meant to give happiness to anyone. The mind vainly seeks to find such happiness in the objects of this world. Only he is happy who is free from egotism, and who is not swayed by craving for sense pleasure. So there is a way out, apparently. But such a person is extremely rare in this world. Indeed, I do not regard him as a hero who is able to battle successfully against a mighty army. Only him I consider a hero who is able to cross the ocean known as the mind and the senses. So there's a challenge here. The challenge is to navigate the mind to this perception which, or I don't know, we can't really call it a state, I think a perspective we could call it, or something beyond all perspectives. I'll just call it a perspective for the time being. We can navigate from our normal situation of having our mind, our attention hijacked by all the things that the world presents to us, to something beyond that. When I use the word beyond, it gives the impression of distance or far away, but it's actually simply the attention resting in itself. So we can rest from this constant hijacking. I do not regard that as a gain which is soon lost. Only that is a gain which is not lost. But there's no such gain available to man in this world, however hard he may struggle. On the other hand, both fleeting gains and temporary adversities come to a man even without his seeking. I am puzzled, holy sir, that a man roams here and there, seemingly busy throughout the day, and is all the time engaged in selfish activity, and though he does not do one good turn during the day, he is able to sleep at night. Yet, even though the busy man overcomes all his earthly enemies, and surrounds himself with wealth and luxury, and even when he boasts that he is happy, death creeps in upon him. How it finds him, only God knows. In ignorance, man binds himself to wife, son, and friends. He knows not that this world is like a large pilgrim centre, where countless people come together fortuitously, and they whom he calls his wife, son, and friends are among them. This world is like a potter's wheel. The wheel looks as if it stands still, though it revolves at a terrific speed. Even so, to the deluded person, this world appears to be stable, even though in fact it is constantly changing. This world is like a poison tree. One who comes into contact with it is not unconscious and stupefied. In other words, we're like what Gurdjieff called sleepwalkers. We're shut out, we're closed to the situation, to the reality of the situation. And we disguise that reality with points of view, with other perspectives. All points of view in this world are tainted. All countries in the world are territories of evil. All the people of the world are subject to death. All actions are deceitful. Many eons have come and gone. They are but moments in time, for there is essentially no difference between an epoch and a moment, both being measures of time. From the viewpoint of the gods, even an epoch is but a moment. Even so, the whole earth is but a modification of the earth element. How futile to pin our faith and our hope on it. Rama continued, O Holy One, whatever appears to be permanent or transient in this world, it is all like a dream. And that's quite an important point, actually. It's like a dream. All these relationships that we build up, they're like the relationships in a dream. And when we're in a dream, the emotional impact of what we're experiencing is no less than what we experience when we're awake. The point being that we can get ourselves very, very emotionally caught up in things which we subsequently consider to have been not real. In other words, what was going on in the dream. What is a crater today was a mountain before. What is a mountain today becomes a hole in the earth in a short while. What is a dense forest today is soon transformed into a big city. What is fertile soil now becomes arid desert. Similar is the change in one's body and in one's lifestyle and fortune. This life and death cycle appears to be a skillful dancer whose skirt is made up of living souls, and her dancing gestures consist of lifting the souls up to heaven, hurling them down in hell, or bringing them back to this earth. All the mighty deeds, even the great religious rites that people perform here, are soon consigned to one's memory. Human beings are born as animals and vice versa. Gods lose their divinity. What is unchanging here? I see even the creator Brahma, the protector Vishnu, the redeemer Rudra, and others inexorably going towards destruction. So even though gods don't escape. In this world, sense objects appear to be pleasant to one only till he remembers this inevitable destruction. Just as a child playing with earth makes different designs with a clod, the ordainer of the universe keeps creating new things and destroying them soon. This perception of the defects of the world has destroyed the undesirable tendencies in my mind, and therefore desire for sense pleasure does not arise in my mind, even as the mirage does not appear on the surface of water. This world and its delights appear bitter to me. I am not fond of wandering in the pleasure gardens. I do not relish the company of girls. I do not value the acquisition of wealth. I wish to remain at peace within myself. I am constantly inquiring, how can I wean my heart? How can I wean my heart completely away from even thinking of this ever-changing phantasm called the world? I do not long for death, nor do I long to live. I remain as I am, free from the fever of lust. What shall I do with the kingdom, pleasure or wealth, all of which are the playthings of egotism, which is absent in me? So it seems like Rama's headed for what's called Quietism, which is just simply not wanting to engage, wanting to be left alone. If I do not get established in wisdom now, when shall another opportunity arise? For indulgence and sense pleasure poisons the mind in such a way that its effects last several lifetimes. Indulgence and sense pleasures poisons the mind for several lifetimes. Only the man of self-knowledge is free from this. Therefore, O sage, I pray to thee, instruct me in such a way that I may forever be free from anguish, fear and distress. With the light of your instruction, destroy the darkness of ignorance in my heart. So it's interesting, Rama does not consider his outlook to be one of wisdom. He seems to believe he sees things as they are, but he's woken up from the stupidity of following sense desires, of believing that what we regard as the world is of any intrinsic value. But how do you move on from that? And it's how you move on from that which is what wisdom is about.